Hello, people. How are you? Hope you can hear me okay. I'm just going to share this um, Twitch link. Can I remember how to do this properly? Let's have a look here. Gold. There we go. Twitch.tv/esportsnewsuk. Okay. That will do. Okay, let's bring up the Twitch app so I can see what's going on here. Have I got my sound on? There we go. I'm in with one viewer. Hey, Finlow, how's it going? Oh, it's very quiet for you. One second. Oh yeah, for some reason I turned my mic volume down. Is that a bit better? Finlow, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Kuata, thank you for joining the stream as well. How are you? How is everyone? I've had a really busy week, incredibly busy week. In fact, busy couple of weeks because my twins have been ill. One had chicken pox, so I had to stay home, look after her while my wife was working a few days. Then, just as she was recovering, the other twin got chicken pox, so I had to take time out and look after him over the past week while juggling work. So that was a real challenge. I don't know why my mic does this sometimes. Let me turn the gain up. It's very strange that it's still quiet. The volume's quite high now, so it should be a lot better. Apologies if it isn't. But yeah, I thought I'd do an end of week. You know, I usually do these news streams, don't I? I thought I'd do an end of week news stream. Chat about the week's news, all of that stuff, and chat about Insomnia as well, because it's really sad news, isn't it? It's really, really horrible. Actually, I tell you what, before I do this, I've just realised something. I need to just fix an image on my site. It does this sometimes. If I have a really old image in the image database, sometimes it doesn't display correctly on my site, and I have to go in, and this is what I'm doing now. So give me a second. I have to go in, and I have to. Oh God, am I going to be able to find this image now? Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Optimize. I have to optimize the image and then regenerate thumbnails, which is really annoying. There we go. Let's do that. Hopefully this will work. Okay. Hopefully that's worked. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I can bring this up now. And actually, it's just reminded me. I've been having issues on my site. I don't know what it is. I've been trying to fix the banners on my site, and it turns out there's a banner that is loaded on the mobile version of my site, despite me not having code on the website. So I'm thinking, like, how on earth is there a banner there? Oh, actually, it looks like it might have fixed now. Okay. Okay, so anyway, something for me to think about. Boring banners, technical stuff and all that. It looks like it's fixed now. Okay. Hi, Crazy, how are you? I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it is a shame my series is dead. It's really sad, actually. Dr. Happiness says, hello, Dom. Charlie from ETF here. Hello, Charlie.
Oh, my God. What have you done? You naughty, naughty person.
Chef and all, thanks very much for the sub, mate. I really appreciate that. I'm playing Warzone, but have a good stream. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you dropping in to give me a sub, even though you're doing something else. That's very kind, mate. Thank you. How's it all going? So yeah, let's talk about the Insomnia stuff. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done a stream. I had ESL1 Birmingham. I've been doing this UK Sports History content series, which has taken up a lot of my time because these articles require deep amounts of research, fact-checking, accuracy, editing, all of that stuff. And so they've taken quite a while. And there's 24 of those articles in total. We've done 8, so we're a third of the way through. We've looked at the history of UK Dota, League of Legends, Call of Duty. Speaking of Call of Duty, and
Oh
Rainbow
my
Six.
God! What have you done? You naughty person.
Mel, how's it going? Mel O'Brien. Thank you, Mel. And we've got the history of UK Counter-Strike coming up. And actually, I need to read that. That's going to take me quite a long time on Monday.
What have you
do
done?
That. Oh my gosh, Chef has donated sub. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Chef. That's very, very kind. Hi Mirai, how are you? You've got a gifted sub, Mirai.
What have you done? You naughty person.
Chef, this is very kind of you. I've just logged on and got 5 gifted subs. That's very, very kind. I had, what did I have? Six subs. 6 out of 15. Now I've got 12 out of 15.
You naughty person.
I need to change the sound of that actually to the Richard Lewis voice. You know when you've been saccoed. That's on. It's been on my list to do that.
What have you done? You naughty person.
That's great. Crazy. You've got a sub as well, and Finlow. Look at that. And that's very kind of you. You've got people who are in the chat, which is good. So yeah, I've been really busy. I've got the UK sports history stuff to work on. Apologies if you've DM'd me this week. There's a few people I haven't got back to the past 2 days. This week I just seem to have had endless DMs and endless emails, and I can't get through it. I can't actually do articles I need to do because I'm constantly replying to people. So apologies. There's going to be some news stories that are delayed and or missed just because I've got so much on. I was at a football five-a-side tournament today. It was my son's first all-day tournament, and he finished runners-up, which I'm really happy with. And actually, the team in the final that he lost to 2-1, they're all academy boys. They were all in like Norwich Academy, and they play in the league above them. Even though they're under 7s, they play in the under 8s. So they did really well to come so close to winning. Spuds X, thank you for following the stream. Appreciate it. Regus, how are you? Suffering from success too popular? Yeah, well, in my own little niche, right? But it's just been busy. It's not usually like that. Like I say, because my twins have been off ill with chickenpox, it's been a bit hard to keep on top of everything. It's half term next week, so my wife doesn't have to work. So hopefully I can catch up a little bit next week, and then we've got the Blast Premier spring final. Everyone in London, I'll be doing stuff around that, and GGBet are going to be sponsoring that, so our content, so that's all good. Anyway, let's talk about Insomnia. If anyone wants to talk about anything else before I go on to Insomnia, let me know. I'm going to have a quick look at other stories. A lot of this stuff are like press releasey stuff. Into the Breach at the Halo London Major. There's a bunch of things here. We've got the UK's first 11v11 EAFC in-person tournament. Link, UK Valorant player, is retired from Valorant and is moving into streaming. The International Federation of Esports Coaches and Acolyte Esports has closed down. I thought they were a good bunch of people. We've had so many closures recently, haven't we? And the Insomnia stuff. Gregan's announced his retirement from full-time esports, the UK Rocket League personality. We know about MSI. G2 went out there. Fnatic went out as well. Staffs Uni hosted their campus clash as their new £2.7 million esports facilities opened. And yeah, we know about the Insomnia stuff. I'll bring that up because I'm going to talk about that. Guild Esports announced their first Tekken player. Oh, I will talk about that actually. Some fighting game stuff. Siege Manchester Major. Into the Breach got knocked out, didn't they? Actually, is that? I think that's still going on, isn't it? That major. We had some changes to Valorant Challengers North Polaris, a rebrand. I need to update that article. There's been a lot on my list I haven't been able to do. Fnatic won EMEA Stage 1, VCT, Valorant. And I think I'm caught up here. I spoke about these things on my last stream 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, Into the Breach are at the Halo London Major. I will have someone there, although I can't make it. Wade, who's done a bunch of things for me, he's going to be at the Halo London Major, so that'll be good. Hopefully he'll be there. Good to see Into the Breach getting involved in more games. We'll talk about this in a minute. And yeah, the fighting games thing, before I chat about Insomnia, we had an amazing weekend a couple of weekends ago. We had Endin Walker beat his teammate Problem X, the two UK Street Fighter players, in the Brussels Challenge 2024. We had Joka win in the Tekken Bars Gauntlet in Pakistan, I think that was, and Red Slasher, a player on top in Uni 2. I hadn't heard of Uni 2 before. I'm not a big fighting games person. Uni 2 is, what is it called here? Under Night in Birth 2. I've never heard of that game before. I don't follow fighting games that closely, but we had a really good weekend. UK fighting game players. It's one of the best sort of competitive game scenes we have in the UK, isn't it? And then here's the Insomnia stuff. So we'll talk about this, and we'll have a look. We'll have a little look. Actually, I'll have a little look with you on Twitter, because I've seen. Like I say, I've been out all day today. I haven't been able to be on Twitter that much. Mike Mirai says, when are we talking about United smashing City? Are you a United fan, Mirai? I'm surprised, really. What was it in the end? Was it 2-0? Was it 3-0? I'm very surprised. 2-1, okay. City. Oh, I mean, City got a late goal. They left it a bit late, didn't they? But 2-1. I mean, United fans must be really happy. I don't think anyone predicted United would win today. I'm just gutted. Why does City have to lose now? Why can't City lose in the league in one of their last 10 games? Then Arsenal could have won the league. It's so frustrating as an Arsenal fan, losing by 2 points. But congrats to United. I'm glad they beat City. I'm sick of City winning all the time. It's just boring. So yeah, Insomnia. We can have a look here. I did a very quick article earlier today. The latest is the subsidiary company behind Insomnia Game Festival, which is Supernova Events and Esports Limited, has entered voluntary liquidation. I've seen the letters. I've seen one of the letters sent out to contractors about this, basically saying insolvency firm Begbie's Trainer has been appointed liquidators for the process, and now it's going to be wound down. As usual with liquidation, contractors and creditors are going to be contacted, find out how much they're owed, see if assets can be sold to help pay them. It's unlikely. Many are going to get paid. There's an awful lot of money I've heard that's owed. I don't want to say figures, but there's an awful lot of money that's owed. And, this is pretty much confirmation, isn't it? Player One Events is gone. Insomnia's going. Unless something happens and someone buys it, it's gone. Roomfest is up in the air, isn't it? Roomfest 2024 is due to take place alongside Insomnia in September. Insomnia 73, I think it is. The next one was supposed to be. That's all up in the air, and people are scrambling around wondering what's going on. This article was very short, by the way. I wrote this really quickly because I had to leave early this morning to get my son to the five-a-side football tournament, so I had to write that article quite quickly this morning. I didn't want to wait all day to publish the news. I wanted to just get the key news out there. And this news, of course, comes 2 weeks after the news I broke that there were mass redundancies at Player One Events. Pretty much all their staff let go. All their staff were let go in one go. Supernova Capital haven't commented. I've given up requesting comment from them now. There's no point. They're doing the silent treatment. They obviously don't want to comment about the situation, which is really sad. And Insomnia's gone. I can't believe it. Even though I wrote this article a couple of weeks ago, I just can't believe it that Insomnia is gone. It's taken a while to sink in. Hamira says, I've watched United match. Hadn't watched it for 12 years, but whacked it on. Yeah, I think there's a lot of disenfranchised United fans over the past decade that used to watch it a bit and then don't anymore. But United have got some good players. They need to work a bit more cohesively, I think. Kuerta says, keeping tabs on the ex-Player One Events folk running Landcraft. Yes, I'm going to come on to that in a minute. Caster Gems, how are you? Says, hey Dom, esports is kind of dead now, to be honest, unless you're sadly back, really, it seems. You hit the nail on the head. And I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately, Gems, because it makes me sad. When I compare what I'm writing now to what I was writing 7-8 years ago, it's worlds apart. I was writing about the ESL UK Premiership in League of Legends in Overwatch. Overwatch was new. That was an exciting time for that game. Rocket League was blowing up. Even things like World of Warcraft esports were starting to go up, trying new things. We had LAN events in the UK. LAN events where the ESL had their Leicester studio. We had events in the Leicester Haymarket Theatre. Okay, listen, it's a great year for big events in the UK, isn't it? We got the Copper Box hosting the Rocket League Major. We got the Blast Premier Spring Final. We've got the Halo Major. We've got League of Legends Worlds Finals. We've even got PUBG Mobile events and all of this stuff. That's great. But the grassroots stuff that am passionate about covering, we don't have that anymore. What leagues do we have here, really? We've got the collegiate British Esports Student Champs. We've got the UK school digital schoolhouse thing. We've got NOL and NSC uni level. We've got the Valorant Challengers, haven't we? Northern Europe, Polaris. And we've got the League of Legends NLC structure. Other than that, what do we have, really? Maybe I'm missing one or two things. I know that Endpoint have their facility and they host the occasional LAN event. Oh, that's great. But it's just changed a lot, and it's depressing. It's hard to, I don't have as much to write about. And when I am writing stuff, half the things I'm writing about are negative things. I try really hard to stay positive on Esports News UK. If you look at my last 12 articles or so, right? Insomnia, negative. UK sports education move, quite positive, but sort of quite small news. History of, this is a timeless piece. A history of, I could do that whenever. Esports Awards, doing well, winning an award. Again, small news, kind of positive. This is a promoted article about Final Fantasy stuff, a sponsored article. Chichester Uni student stuff, that's positive. BS Plus competition returning to Rocket League with two UK women players. Yep, that's positive. Into the breach at Halo Major, that's positive. Okay, there are a few. International Federation of Esports Coaches closing down. And these, I have other things on my list that I don't always get time to cover. There's another thing on my list at the moment that people keep saying, "Oh, Dom, have you looked into this? Blah blah blah." Yes, I am looking into it. Hopefully on Monday I can do something. I'll get a bit more time. Everyone's talking about Lions Creed apparently not paying their players. Yunko said here, it's a former League of Legends head coach. Lions Creed and Robin have done the same thing many times before. I respectfully ask Riot to seize their spot and pay the players' coaches for the amount of seeds sold. This is a clear fraud and a crime. We have to protect our rights ourselves. I have been told from a source that's disputed that. I need to look into it, like I say. But, people are talking about Lions Creed at the moment, so I need to look into that situation. And I just haven't had time. I just don't get time to do investigative stuff as much as I'd like to. So please be patient with me. So yeah, it's depressing, isn't it? Sorry to go off on a tangent there. Actually, do you know what? I forgot to change my channel there. Sorry about that. Where's the Lions Creed thing I was just talking about? Let me bring it up so you can see it. Again, I haven't verified this stuff. This was the tweet here. Lions Creed not paying, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that was a long answer from me to your point there, Gems, about esports does feel kind of dead now. Curtis says, I hope we see an acquisition or something new. Big gap to fill, and of course, sales the incoming events to the UK. Yeah, I agree completely. We've got Gems LTD. Thanks, Seblin Official, for following the stream. We've got Gems LDN and Caster Gems in the chat. We've got the two Gems. Hey, Sammy, how are you? What are your thoughts, Sammy, on the Lions Creed stuff? I haven't had time to look into it. I've been so busy. I've been at my son's football tournament today, and I was at last night. I was watching John Lydon. If there's any people who know their punk rock or followed old school punk rock, I was at John Lydon, but not really a gig. It's kind of like a spoken tour. So if people don't know who John Lydon is, he was known as Johnny Rotten. He was the frontman of the Sex Pistols years ago, kind of like the godfather of punk, right? I grew up listening to my US punk rock, Green Day, Blink-182, NoFX, all of that stuff. So I had a chance to see his spoken tour. He does have some strong views. And some things I don't agree with. You know, he's pro-Brexit, and there's a few other things. He has some slightly odd views on diversity, but he's very outspoken, and he has some amazing stories to tell. So yeah, anyway, long way of me giving you excuses for not really catching up on stuff so much. Let me catch up on the chat here. Oh, we're competing who's had gems the longest here. Caster Gems said, I've had gems for 10 plus years. Even my Discord is just gems. Yeah, hopefully I will, Regus. Yeah, I will try and cover it. It depends what I can get. Stories like that take a long time to research properly, to check facts, to find out exactly what's happened beyond someone writing an emotional tweet. I don't always have the time to do it, and I've got a lot of things on my list at the moment, on my plate, with the GGBet UK sports history stuff and everything like that. So time for investigative stuff, I don't have as much time, unfortunately. Hello Odie, how are you? Rainbow Six Major was good. Yes. So is that's finished, is it? Is that finished today? Who won that? I saw that Into the Breach went out. Oh, hang on. Tomorrow is the grand final. I thought the grand final was today for some reason. Team BDS versus Beast Coast in the final. I haven't been watching it at all, I have to say. I haven't had time. I know what will happen with me. When my kids eventually grow up, right, and become adults, then I'll have time to do esports stuff. By that point, I'll be too old and slow. Has anyone else been watching the major? What are your thoughts on it? How did Into the Breach do? I know they got knocked out, but Seblin, yeah, he's still doing them. So what happened? What he said yesterday, John Lydon, was that he lost his wife last year, and his best friend encouraged him to do this spoken tour to keep him active, right? Keep his mind focused on things. He went to start the tour, and then his best friend died. So really hard on him. He's lost two of the closest people to him in his life. But he had like a little slideshow of, you know, his wife, his best friend, his other family members. MertzX_, thank you for following the stream. And you know, he said, like, I'm really glad I did this tour, and I think he's going to do a music tour again. He's writing music again. So, you know, he did seem pretty positive despite all that hardship. He did break down on stage. He did cry a few times, which I respect. You know, he's in touch with his emotions. Sammy says, not a shock, is it really? Bit sad, though, that the TOs have fallen for it again. Are you talking about Lions Creed, Sammy? Again, I'm not clued up. How have they fallen for it? Gems said, I don't think I want to start the How Long Have You Been talking with OD or me in the channel. Yeah. Oh, Seblin plays ITB and ranked every now and then. Amazing. So Seblin, are you a player in Rainbow Six, or are you like a high ranked player? Are you on a team? Gems says, Odie, grats on the weight loss. Yeah, I'll echo that as well, Odie. You've been posting updates, and that's really positive, mate. I'm happy for you. Well done. Crazy said G2 disappointed in the major. Mertz says, I'm not surprised with the Lions Creed stuff. I worked with them for the uni tournaments last year. From my knowledge, winners haven't been paid. Neither have I. 90% of anything I hear about Lions Creed is bad. Well, so I heard, just on that, I haven't published this yet, but I did hear from a couple of people, editors, I think video editors, who came to me saying, you know, payment issues and so on. And so I looked into that. I haven't published anything on that because from what I was understanding, they were going to get paid. So maybe I can look into that as well. I obviously need to reach out to some players before I do anything, but it might take me a while. I just don't have the time. If I didn't have kids, I will be all over this stuff. I'd be publishing articles a lot quicker. That's my excuse. And I need a break as well. I could literally work 24/7. I need to chill out of an evening as well. So it's hard, isn't it? My relationship with Lions Creed started off okay. I wrote some stories about them doing well. Then it went a bit rocky. I covered some of the some negative stories they had, some negative situations. Then I improved again, and I'm on good terms with Abdi at Lions Creed. So it's always a shame when you see this stuff, but yeah, I will look into it. Oh, Seblin says I wrote the article regarding the Chi Esports Overwatch event. Okay, I only wish I was a pro player. Right, so you've got Seb. Sorry, it's Seb. You're Sebling official. Got it. Thank you. Let's bring that up in a minute. I'm a champ player in R6. I didn't know that. I played those guys a few times. Very friendly in chat. I do think it's similar management, Regus. I mean, Abdi's always been involved, but he did step back at some point because he works with other companies and other things, other businesses. And he had some other people he did. Earlier this year, he came back. So if we look at some of the articles I've done, Abdi reached out to me earlier this year, and I was happy to do this interview with him. And he said, I'm here to build a business and better the scene. And he wanted to address past controversies and things like that. So I was happy to do that. You can give that a read if you want. And he did say in here, now there's a bit in here buried. Where is it here? I can't remember where it was now. Oh no, this was it. Here we go. Abdi told me at the start of the year. I previously stepped back from Lions Creed to let my team handle things while I was focused on other projects. I'm in the middle of a buyback process of shares. Coming back full-time to make Lions Creed what I envisioned it to be as the founder, and I'm fixing on everything from October to now. So he wants to get more of his business back, right? It sounds like he sold some of his business in the past at Lions Creed and wants to buy it back. That is a key aspect here. I had a good chat about with Abdi the other week. Obviously, I'm not excusing people not being paid, but there are things they're trying to do. So there's a little bit of context there. So Sebling official, who's in the chat, wrote a piece for us the other day, which is this. What happened at the Chichester University 2024 live esports events? Students share their experiences and learnings. So they do 2 esports broadcast days per year, organised by their third year esports students, and they have other students helping out, like lighting students, sports media students, I think it is. And it was great. I went the other Friday. I was really impressed again. I'm always impressed. So we had one student, Nick Lee, write about their Valorant event, which you can read about. This is kind of a newsy sort of report that Nick wrote. And then Sebling, official, who's in the chat, wrote about this one here, the Overwatch Southern Showdown, which I thought was really cool. That's the one I went to. Cool beach vibes, cool trophy that's like a custom skateboard thing. And this was written in the first person perspective. So if you're interested in collegiate university esports and so on, I really like that virtual background they created, by the way, with the sponsor logos on the stalls. I thought that was really creative. Go check it out if you want to read and support university esports. These students are graduating. So Seb, who wrote the second part of the article here, is graduating from his third year, whereas Nick is a first year student. So I was actually really impressed with her because she's done, she's a first year student and she's written this really well. So really good stuff. Thanks for writing that, and I'm glad it's part of UK sports history now on my site. I like to support collegiate stuff where I can. Odie says I went to Chichester also. Yes, so Odie, you were there for this day, weren't you? The Valorant Chi finals. And it's great. Shout out to Rams and the other lecturers. Rams, or R2K, was one of the early sort of pro gamers, competitive gamers in the UK. Played for Dignitas back in the day. Another player. You can play Esports News UK stream bingo with us each week. That if we're talking about a pro player, there's a high percentage chance Odie will say he used to play for Dignitas back in the day. Right, it often happens. And Seb spoke to Odie briefly. Yeah, all good. Okay, so there's the Chichester one. So Seb was talking in the chat. I wanted to add context there. Again, let's go back to Insomnia. I'm not going to stay too long on this stream tonight. I just wanted to talk about Insomnia, vent about it. I've done all the brunt of my investigation, reporting on it. I first heard this, like I say, a couple of weeks ago, and I saw, people gave me a tip off, and then I saw, but I was busy, I had work calls and stuff, but I saw people starting to tweet saying I've been laid off from Player One Events who organises, or used to organise Insomnia. So I did my research and got this out here. And unfortunately, because I couldn't get any comment from Player One Event, from Supernova Capital, I had to run it, and I couldn't say for sure that Insomnia was gone. I just couldn't say for sure because I couldn't get an official source, an official comment from the source being Supernova Capital saying we are closing Insomnia. But them shutting down Player One Events, laying off all the staff, it kind of shows you Insomnia's disappearing. Unless they can get, someone to buy the assets to buy the name. I'm going to come on to that in a bit. I didn't actually know this until the other week. The founder of Insomnia, Craig Fletcher, aka Wizzo, actually left last November. This was a very quiet move. I didn't hear it at the time. A few people told me, oh yeah, didn't you know Dom, blah, blah, blah. But when I've spoken to a lot of other people who were out the loop, they didn't know Craig had left fully. Because Craig got back involved. I mean, there's a long history to it, isn't there, Insomnia? They sold to Game, the UK retailer Game, in I think it was 2015, around then. And then Game sold Insomnia 3 years ago. Yeah, literally 3 years ago. Yesterday, to Supernova Capital, and Supernova Capital looks like they've given up now, which is really sad. We've gone through this, haven't we? There were people tweeting from Player One Events saying that I'm sad, I'm leaving, I've been made redundant. People saying my heart goes out to everyone at Player One Events. They had a great team, by the way. There were some great people that worked there, worked really hard. But the signs were there because last October, 2 of their main esports staff were let go, weren't they? Matt McDonald, aka Khan, and GeoSnipe, who's Michael Lambert. They were let go last October. I started to get worried then, and I remember reaching out to Supernova Capital saying, hey, what's going on? Is this part of wider layoffs? I was worried, what does it mean for the future of esports at Insomnia? They weren't very communicative with me, Supernova, so I started to get warning bells back then. They weren't communicative. They did get back to me very slow. I wanted to arrange a call with them. They couldn't even arrange a call with me. It was so slow coming back and forth on emails, and that never happened. That call never happened. But I like to think I have a bit of an intuition sometimes as a journalist. And when this happened, I got bad feeling. If you let go of your 2 main esports staff, what does that tell me? That shows me that you're not as bothered about esports, and your esports side of things may be scaling back. The news ended up being even worse than that, didn't it? They didn't scale back on their esports. They just cut the whole event completely. So, now Danish has been let go. They've all been let go. That's it. And as I've said earlier, RuneFest is up in the air now, right? They put a statement out the other day here saying, you may have seen the news regarding layoffs at Player One events, and we're concerned how this will affect our plans for RuneFest. And this is a nothing statement, really. Okay. They says we were saddened to learn that some of the team we were working with to deliver RuneFest are no longer with the company. We share your concerns about the ongoing uncertainty, and we know many of you will already have organised your travel and hotel plans. While we can't give a definitive answer today, please be assured we're working to explore every opportunity possible, and we'll update you as soon as we have news to share. It doesn't really add anything beyond this, does it, really, that they've postponed the sale of RuneFest tickets. They're obviously looking at options now. Where are they going to move RuneFest? I mean, if this was going to happen in September, we've got EGX, haven't we? We've got EGX and MCM that have merged here. Not merged, they're sharing the dates. 25th to 27th of October. I can't see RuneFest shoving in alongside that. I don't think there'd be enough room. That's another story, by the way. EGX, actually, I think EGX is staying with its current owners, but Gamer Network, I think, which is Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz and all that, they've been bought by IGN the other day. This should be in here somewhere. There we go. Eurogamer has a new parent company, IGN Entertainment. IGN have bought the Gamer Network family, which is Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and Dicebreaker. I remember reaching out to Rupert Lohman, who's the founder of Eurogamer, years ago, saying, "Hey, I've got Esports News UK. Do you want to invest? Do you want to, I would have loved to have been a part of that Gamer Network. I wouldn't love to be a part of it now because I'd be losing all control over the site if it was sold to IGN. I'm surprised IGN don't have an esports site. I don't think they do. Anyway, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'm pretty sure they don't own an esports site. Anyway, Insomnia. We had someone from Essentials TF in the chat earlier, and they put a statement out recently. From Dr. Happiness was in the chat. Hello again, Dr. Happiness, if you're still there. And they said, and I found this really interesting actually, we at Essentials TF have been discussing our involvement. So context is, Essentials TF host the really well received Team Fortress 2 LAN at Insomnia. Doesn't take place at every Insomnia, but sort of every other Insomnia they host it. It always does really well. The TF2 fans don't have many TF2 LANs to shout about. This is like the main one, so it always has a loud crowd, and it's really exciting to witness that. And they said, despite this latest news, we've been planning on suspending TF2 events at Insomnia for the near future. This is so we could explore options for more suitable options for the changing attitudes and approaches to LAN we've seen post-COVID, and we've been making progress on these ideas. We previously discussed our commitment to a LAN this year, but upon reflection with this latest news and knowledge of other events in the calendar, it's likely we'll instead be looking at our next major LAN sometime in 2025, so they're sort of going to skip now 2024 with this Insomnia news. And they said, given that Insomnia was one of the community's most well-known events and had tremendous longevity, we want to ensure whatever comes next meets the community's expectations while also being sustainable and an event that we can return to year on year. And we're saddened to see the end of what has been an iconic and storied event for TF2. But we remain optimistic to what the future holds. So I echo that. So look, we've had lots of comments, haven't we, around Insomnia. And this one, I found this interesting here. So who knows this guy here, Ash Valmont, who knows Ash Valmont here? Because I don't know Ash very well, but he put a tweet out the other day saying, right, at Paul Wedgwood, who is a CEO, a co-founder at Supernova Capital, which owns Insomnia, owns this Supernova Esports and Events, which has just gone into liquidation, saying, right, Paul Wedgwood, I will buy Insomnia for 1p and take on all of its debts. There'll be a lot of debts. I will ensure every creator from I-72 is paid and work with the actual team who did all the work on Insomnia to make it amazing again. I'll also ensure they're paid fairly. DM me. So, I mean, this tells me this guy has money. I mean, he's got 1,200 followers. He's a studio director at Monster Energy, and he's very popular on TikTok and does stuff with, I think, Disney. I think he was something like an ambassador, a Star Wars ambassador or something like that. But I don't know Ash very well. We are following each other, but I don't know him very well. So he obviously has access to funding if he's or is well off himself if he's offering to buy it and pay everyone what they're owned and employ the team again to do Insomnia. That's a lot of money. So I'll be interested to know if anyone knows Ash, because his tweet did sound very serious. Right, I'm catching up on the chat here. Gems, so Paul hasn't said anything to you? No, he hasn't. No, I've heard zero from Supernova. That's why it was even harder for me to do this piece, because I couldn't say for sure that Insomnia was going. I couldn't. I could have guessed it, but I can't do that as a journalist. I could have been 90% feeling, and from what people are telling me, oh Dom, have you heard Insomnia's going? Well, actually, I had no proof of that, and neither did contractors and things like that. They just had silence. Obviously, the letters have gone out yesterday to the contractors, but I haven't heard from Supernova on this. I've been saying to people 2 weeks ago, they need to make a comment on it. And it looks like they're not going to. Sometimes with... oh, this is nice. Someone said this was a very well written article. Thank you. Robert said that. How do I comment? I don't even know how to comment on these blooming things here. I need to... awaiting for approval. Oh my God. I need to talk to my web dev about this. I don't even know... It says 0 comments, but then there's 3 here. How's that happened here? How's that happened? Can other people see these comments on the article, or can I? I need to sort that out. Hang on. It's not often people leave comments on articles, but this article did get a lot of views. What was I saying anyway? I've lost my train of thought here. So yeah, I haven't heard from Supernova. I've said Supernova need to make a comment because there was a lot of confusion around this. People in the Discord saying goodbye messages as if it's all over. And then we're going to come on to this story now as well. So I'll just catch up on the chat here. Governor says, it is so sad. I want to have a proper answer. Absolutely. Governor, how are you, mate? And what is going on with Lions Creed? Any intel people can pass me, please let me know. Seb said it was such a shame I never got to go to one of their events. It is a shame. I'm gutted I didn't get to go to the last one. I've missed the last ever Insomnia. Yeah, Gems, I'm going to come on to that. Matt and Michael have started their own LAN events thing. I'm going to read through that now. Caster Gems says, this sounds like chaos. XL is usually so poorly run, so having both together is just a mess waiting to happen. Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? Hello, Essentials TF and Dr. Happiness. Thank you for making that statement, and good luck to whatever you do in the future. Please keep me posted. As always, I'm happy to support. Even if it's not UK news, even if you decide to do your LAN at DreamHack or whatever, I'll still cover it because, you know, I like to cover LANs and things, especially if there's a story that every site is going to cover. Like Faker was in the Hall of Fame, wasn't he? I was thinking of doing that. There's about 10, 20 sites covering it. Is there any value in me covering that as well? You know? But if you don't get much coverage on other sites, come to me. I'm always happy to cover stories that other sites don't cover. even if they're slightly different stories or they're not League of Legends, they're not my core thing. So yeah, good luck and keep me posted. That is a tweet, Gems. Yes, it is. I mean, yeah, I'll buy it for 1p. And then Chef says, even if you buy it, what did Supernova do wrong that someone else can do right? Not as simple as taking on the debt and running it. Yep, true. Unless you're someone that just has a lot of money and you care about this, right? And you want to keep it going. And you're happy to make a bit of a loss. It's like Epic Land, right? Epic Land is no... it's no secret that Epic Land... let me try and... Epic Land makes a loss. Right? I put this in some recent coverage. Around the prize pool, it's worth noting Epic Land makes a loss from its own events and instead generates revenues from white label events for other brands. So white label being Argos can come to the Epic Land team or Pringles or whatever and say, hey, can you do a Pringles Land for us? And they will. But it won't say Epic Land anywhere. They're doing it, you know, as a white label thing for Pringles or whatever it is. So they generate revenues from white label events for other brands, events and tournaments throughout the year. Sponsors at Epic Land like Intel, Overclockers, Dratec contribute to prize pools and more. And I've put, it's clear that the Epic Land team attempts to keep ticket prices down for guests, with the LAN being a proving ground for rising talent to shine in front of the community. And thank God for people like John at Epic Land, John Winkle, who runs it, who's the founder of it, who puts this event on at a loss. Because if John had sold, and I know Epic Land have had offers and things over the years, if John had sold Epic Land to someone like Supernova Capital, maybe Epic Land wouldn't be around anymore. So, you know, I hope we have people like John and continue to have people like John in the industry who won't just sell things. You know, I'm glad. I'll give you an example here. I'm going off on a tangent here. Siege.gg, really good Rainbow Six Siege esports news site. I respect them a lot. They've got some good writers. One of their old writers wrote my UK Rainbow Six history article the other day. This isn't a good time to use to make this point because the Manchester Major's on, so they're writing a lot about it. But in the off season now, they're writing about other games. They're writing about Valorant. They're writing about other esports news. You know, are they losing a bit of their identity? They're owned by Gfinity, right? I don't want to go down that road, selling my site. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. My point is, you know, maybe Supernova Capital, you know, surely they could downscale the Insomnia if they needed to make it more of a profit. Even if they'd, I would have been obviously upset about this, I'm sure many people would. Even if they got rid of the LAN aspect and just focused on the expo and turned a profit doing that and saved all the money from the LAN, you'd still have a good gaming event at the NEC or wherever else. They haven't even tried to move it to another venue, have they? They just got rid of it. I don't know. I haven't looked fully into the finances and things on Companies House around Supernova. There's probably a lot more to it, but I've done the general stuff. So yeah, very sad, isn't it? I've caught up on chat. Let's talk about this other story here. 1 second. Jem says, can't you check on the Gov website if they file for liquidation? Yes, but it's not always super quick, Gems. So, like, because I heard about people being sent letters, that can happen before the Companies House page is updated. So let me... where is it here? Let me show you what I mean. So this Supernova Events and Esports Limited on Companies House. Right, one officer is active, Paul Wedgwood. All the others have gone here. So overview, company status active, but that takes a while to update. It's like when M&M Gaming. I heard M&M Gaming were going into administration. Oh no, I think they're Molotovs, aren't they? There we go. Company status in administration. That took a while from when they first filed for administration. That took a while for that status bit to update there. It's not good if you're a journalist waiting for that. But anyway, no, see, look, this isn't in here. Registration of charge here. What is this thing? Charge dated. Oh, look at this. Look at this here. I haven't even seen this. Debenture between Supernova Events and Esports Limited and Wedgwood FIC Limited. Right? Is that another Paul Wedgwood's companies here? Oh, look at this. I'm no legal expert. This says it was written by Sheridan's. This is a lender. This is a loan agreement to provide the borrower with a loan on a secured basis. I'm trying to see who. Yeah, there we go. So Wedgwood is lending money to Supernova. So Supernova Events and Esports Limited borrowed money from Paul Wedgwood's another business of his. 1st of May, right? A few weeks before they entered administration. What's that all about? I'm no legal expert, by the way, right? This stuff here, I would probably need help breaking this down. But if there's any experts at this kind of thing who want to spend a few hours reading through this and let me know anything, please feel free to, because there's 50 pages here. This looks like it's like I say, yeah, is it borrowing money? God, 50 pages on this stuff. Bloody hell. So, there's more to it, isn't there? There's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, long answer to your question. No, it's not on there that it's liquidation yet, but we got it from the letters. Jem says, Dom Sacco, SEO expert, WordPress noob. I often want to sit down with Dom with a cup of tea, like two boomers who don't understand the internet or tech, mockingly. Yeah. Yeah, keep us posted. Dr. Happiness says Dr. Happiness says we have some interesting plans that we're working on. Fingers crossed. Good luck. Jem says on Faker, some reportage is good, most is not. Epic represent. The governor, it says, is it likely they had a lot of debts over COVID? Hope that the attendance was larger on return and can't pay these back. Maybe, but the thing is, Gov, they bought Insomnia halfway through COVID, so they would have known what they were taking on. It isn't like we've been hit hard by COVID. They bought the company in May 2021, or that's when it was announced anyway, right? COVID had been a thing for over a year. Essentials TF said, according to Geo, Insomnia hasn't made money since I-55. There you go. Jem says, for a nerd, LANs are vital to me, as concerts are for music enjoyers. Epic should be way more celebrated and profitable, but it's not. I guess the whole LAN thing has an image problem. Well, I heard from someone recently, I don't know how true this is, because I've heard it from someone, but I heard that Craig Fletcher, the founder of Insomnia, said a while back, LANs they're not as profitable as they used to be, and they're hard, to make money from LANs. I mean, people had moaned about Insomnia, hadn't they, in recent years? Oh, the ticket prices are expensive and this and that. But it's, everything's going up. Everything is costing more. So I think it's hard to make a LAN work unless you put your prices up high. Epic LAN have just been so nice that they haven't put their prices up high, I think. Chef says, essentially, he has protected his millions. What that's saying, Dom. He's made himself a secured creditor. There you go. Jem says, Dom, you've made plenty of contacts at Sheridan's to start with, but yeah. Yeah, I do have plenty of contacts with Sheridans, but I know what they'll say if I contact them. It's client, it's a confidential, it's what they've worked on. They don't share what they've worked on with individual clients, right? That will probably be what it is. No worries, Governor. Yeah, so, before I end the stream and so on, there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here, isn't there? Listen, I know it's sad that Insomnia is going, but these two people I mentioned earlier who were let go from Insomnia organisers Player One events last October have registered their own UK business on Companies House, and it's Landcraft Events Limited. They're setting up their own venture here. So I wrote this story again a couple of weeks ago, just after the Player One events news. And their website, Landcraft Events, says, we've been working away in the background trying to bring you something we think is going to be really cool. We'd love if you could come on this journey with us. We want to start building a following for our new adventure. If you're interested in all things LAN, esports and community gaming events in general, I think you'd be pretty safe to drop a cheeky little email in the box below, tick the marketing box and click the button. So I've signed up this. Oh, they've got a GoFundMe as well, so I updated my article with this. They've got a GoFundMe here. They've raised £5,000 out of £30,000 so far. Wow, Matthew Harrison's given them £1,000 there. And they're obviously trying to raise funds, and they're going through the community. Why not? Oh, actually, there's more. They've gone into more detail here. I missed this text. They said they've hosted over 125 LAN parties, big and small. And they have an opportunity to reinvent the concept of LAN parties for a new generation of PC gamers. Oh, goddamn, I'm glad I missed this. That's a good headline, isn't it? They want to reinvent the concept of LAN parties for a new generation. They know that LAN parties have evolved over the years. The reasons for attending them have evolved. LANs were initially essential for players to compete and game together on a level playing field with low latency ping. However, with the advent of high-speed internet and the shift by game providers to online servers, the original technical benefits of LANs have become less critical. Today, the social aspects of LAN parties are the primary draw. Completely agree. Bringing gamers together in a unique community setting, especially in this digital world. We want to meet up. Like Gov, who's in the chat, right? Gov is in the chat here. I think I put this at the bottom of the article here. Oh, no, I can't remember where I put it. Gov wrote a really nice opinion piece. You can find this by clicking the opinion tab at the top of Esports News UK, scrolling down a bit. He's put the most fun I've ever had at Insomnia Gaming Festival. Oh God, the irony of this, Gov. You wrote this and now we're never going to have one. You wrote this. This is the last ever. This is going to go down in history, isn't it? As the last ever League of Legends Insomnia article on Esports News UK. Unless someone brings Insomnia back, you have written the last ever League of Legends Insomnia article, which is really sad. This was a really nice piece by James, so go check it out if you haven't already. And he really taps into like the friendships, the camaraderie, the community, the excitement of meeting up in person and having fun playing games, because that's what esports and games is all about, isn't it? It's fun. I get sick of drama and negativity. I want to have fun with it. That's what it's supposed to be all about. Also, we're talking about Essentials TF. GeoSnipe has confirmed TF2 will be at a Landcraft event. Because Merck, a good supporter of Esports News UK, put here, does this mean we get TF2 at LAN still? Oh my God. And GeoSnipe said that and much more. Heart emoji. So there we go. There's an email here, people saying goodbye at Player One events. And so yeah, we are going to get this. We are going to get this Landcraft events. When, we don't know yet. But I've messaged GeoSnipe. I've messaged Khan. I know Khan a little bit more than I do. I don't know GeoSnipe that well. But I've said to them, I'm happy to support you with your journey. Do articles, maybe do an interview when something's announced, and I will try my hardest to be at that first event. Or whenever it is. And let's hope they have League of Legends land there, right? Because we don't have that at Epic Land. Gems jinxed it. Yeah, it's all your fault, Governor. It's all your fault. If you hadn't written this article about having a good time and the most fun at Insomnia Festival, we might have still had an Insomnia. Maybe Paul Wedgwood saw this and thought, oh, well, we've peaked. We might as well just get rid of Insomnia now. We can't do any better than this. UHL WXSH said TF2 at LAN, my beloved. Yes, it's an amazing event. Do you know what? Here's a fun article one of my writers did. And they were like, Dom, the TF2 crowd was so noisy, weren't they? Should we measure how loud the crowds are at Insomnia and see who wins? And the TF2 audience won. They had over 100 decibels of noise. He tracked. He had a little app that was tracking the decibels. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty fun little thing there. But yeah. Chef says, I'm still supporting TF2 teams. We sent a team to Poland recently. Oh, right. What's the Poland event, Chef? Jem says, community is the most valuable asset of LANs. Not just to brands and whatever commercial nonsense, but to the people who go there. It's a way of reaching people in the flesh who love games. LANs are amazing. Yeah, they are. And I want to go to the tabletop ones. You know, Epic LAN have the tabletop ones, don't they? I'm in a little weekly Frosthaven group in Ipswich. I actually go with Excoundrel. Shout out to Excoundrel, the old UK League caster. He invited me and I've had such fun. But the group we play with, there's a couple we play with in the scenario thing in the campaign, and they've just had a baby. So we haven't played Frosthaven for ages, and I miss it. So hopefully once they're settled with their baby, we can. I've missed Frosthaven and maybe bring them along to one of those tabletop events that John organises or another one. Essentials TF says confirmed is quite bold at this stage, but we're going to see what we can do with Gio and Khan. Yeah. I mean, maybe Gio's feeling very optimistic that with Insomnia gone, they're experienced. They can do it. I wonder how they're going to get the capital to do it. But good luck to them. I'm hoping they're having conversations. Chef says we've been in the last 3 seasons of ETF2I. I don't know what ETF2I is. Is that a LAN, Chef? Jem says, are you going to cover things like versus fighting in a few months in the UK? Seems like might be good considering all the bad news. Yeah, versus fighting. I've done a couple of articles on that in the past. There was that Tekken player I mentioned earlier, I think Joker, who I think he finished second. There we go. He finished runner-up. This was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I wrote this piece, and then last year, Wade, who is our resident fighting games guy, he did a look back on the UK's biggest FGC weekend of the year, featuring Versus Fighting 11 and Region 2023. So, if you don't know who Wade is, please reach out to him, talk to him. He writes excellent fighting game stuff for us. He wrote Dota stuff. ESL1 Birmingham stuff recently. He was with me, he was helping me out. Wade is aggressive duck on Twitter, but it's aggressive_duck. Right? Okay, so it's this one here. So feel free to reach out to him. He's on Discord as well, or I can intro you. He's written loads of good fighting game stuff for us. He does his own thing as well in Brentwood. He's a head TO for East London Smash. He needs more followers, really, Wade, because he knows his stuff when it comes to FGC. So yes, in long answer to your question, yes, I would like to cover it. And Wade is often at those events, so he can give us more of like a first-person account, Oh, it's the main Team Fortress League, Dom. Sorry if you've shared a link there, Chef. There might be the Twitch bot is a bit harsh. Yeah, Gems, that's what we write. That's what it might have been just before you joined the stream. I spoke about that because I wanted to cover off some of the main news since I did my last stream 2 weeks ago. And one of the stories that I was really pleased with this one here, UK Fighting Games players doing well. Endon Walker beating his UK teammate Problem X in Brussels Challenge. There we go. Joka won the Tekken Bars Gauntlet or Bars Gauntlet. That was it. So I wrote about that the other week. Jem says, I smash in South London, smiley face. Insert Quagmire face here. Very good, very good. So yeah, that's the Landcraft stuff. Good luck to them. Like I say, I haven't been around that much this weekend. I did initially see this from Duck's tweet here, Michael Moriarty, who broke this news yesterday. I did receive a tip-off earlier, but because I went out last night, I wasn't able to follow up on it. So Duck beat me to it here, but I did retweet him. I quote tweeted him, and you know, I think Duck is very fair for him. People don't know who Duck is. He's done loads of stuff for UK CSGO, the news website back in the day. He was a esports manager at Wolves Esports for a while. He's done quite a lot of stuff now in UK esports, and he's put here, so it's official, Insomnia is going into administration, player one's going into administration, no official announcement or apology to the employees made redundant or contractors out of pocket. Again, I hate it sometimes when companies, it's always sad to see a company going into administration and people losing their jobs. I think it's even worse when you don't get any official comment, and I see it quite a lot because I think their legal advisors or their administrators or whatever it is, or senior management, don't comment on it. For whatever reason, they're advised not to comment on it. There may be certain legal reasons, but it's just so bad for the community, and it's so bad for the staff and people involved and partners to get no comment. I really wish you could do a basic comment. We are sorry. It could be 2 lines just explaining it. At least people have closure from it, you know. And Duck said, no official announcement or apology to those out of pocket, just a letter from the prospective administrators about an upcoming meeting. So congratulations, Paul Wedgwood and Supernova Capital, you parasitic vandals, spending too much money too fast, so we end up like this. Don't even have the decency to let us know yourselves that you were screwed. Hope you enjoy the legacy you've created for yourselves. And actually, let me just take away my screen a second. This is the guy that said this. Just a second. So Paul Wedgwood said this. This is Paul Wedgwood saying, I'm going to spend the rest of my life losing as much money as I can. I'm making this the best party ever. The rest of my life spending as much money as I can, making this the best party ever. That didn't happen, did it? I think that was Paul Wedgwood anyway, from what I was sent here. I think so, yeah. So it's just sad, isn't it? It's just very, very sad. Jem said Duck is UK Doctor House. Love me some Duck. Good old Duck. Caster Jem says it's happening everywhere, even outside esports. Loads of tech jobs I've known, loads just being made redundant lately. It's depressing. It is depressing. And I'll be honest with you, I have thought a few times, you know, it's just getting too much. Do I want to be writing about esports and this stuff for the rest of my life. I want to write about positive stuff. When are we going to get out of this mess? I'm really, it's really sad, isn't it? I mean, and if I don't have much UK esports to write about, I'm going to have to write about other things. I will have to write about more global esports or something. Governor says this was effing mad to listen to. He spent so long monologuing, felt like a massive ego trip for himself, rubbed me up wrong at the time. Sequela says professional yapper. Yeah, I've had a few people upset about it. I could go off on one and write things and say, oh, this wasn't good. But then at the time, they might have been in a very different position. So, but yeah, I did think it was a bit of a... Well, Craig Fletcher used to host the pub quizzes at Insomnia, so I better do it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do a monologue, and I don't know how genuine it was. That's just my personal opinion, but it's very hard to replace someone, isn't it? To replace Wizzo, who's done all this stuff. Wizzo, why did you sell Insomnia? Why did you sell it in the first place? Damn it, Wizzo, we wouldn't have had this problem if you hadn't have sold it, created it in the first place and then sold it. Why'd you have to sell it for the monies? Reach says, we'll get out of this mess when venture capitalists stop trying to make a quick buck on esports and people actually just enjoy the damn events for what they are. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And this is why I've made the decision. I scrape by on Esports News UK, right? I'm going to be real with you. I scrape by with the thing. I have 3 kids, a mortgage, cost of living madness, a son who has, I'm not doing woe is me, I'm just telling you my situation. A son who has serious allergies, so online, weekly shops are just so expensive. And I scrape by, but I don't want to sell my site. Not that my site would be worth tons anyway. It's not it's not an Excel Esports, it's not a big esports org. It's a little independent news site. But I don't want to sell it now. I don't want to sell it. It would have to be an amazing offer and from people who care about esports and esports journalism. And I don't think many people like that exist, unfortunately. I have had a few chats with some very interesting potential partnerships, but that may be down the line. So yeah, I don't want to sell for that reason. And I know people say, oh, Esports News UK, you are Esports News UK, Dom. That's the other thing, right? If I sold my site to someone else, it wouldn't really be the same site, would it? Unless they employed me to do stuff. Caster Gem says, I'm in that boat, dipped completely out of esports now, to be honest. Not really because I want to, but just lose too much money with other responsibilities. Like the few things I did were basically a loss income-wise for me, just to do passion-based things. Yeah. Jem says, I'll buy it for 1p, mate, and all the debt. I don't have any debt. Hey, I'm happy. I don't have any debt on Esports News UK. The only debt I have is, paying for my monthly hosting and all that stuff and all the other apps and things that I have to pay for, and my email newsletter host and all of this stuff. But I don't have debts, which is good. But then again, I don't have employees because I can't afford to have employees. So yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Maybe I can have a look at see if there's any other tweets about Insomnia Gaming Festival. We can talk about. These look like these are all over the place, aren't they? Here. This tweet did really well for me here, by the way, 105,000 tweets. I don't want to write about this stuff. I want Insomnia. Cassie from Nox Lumina says, it's my goal is for Nox Lumina to do big massive events like Insomnia and to have our own massive gaming festival and award shows. This is the thing, it will open the door now, won't it? Insomnia closing, it will open the door. I can't believe they haven't done any tweets. Look at this. Is that going to be their last tweet? Thanks for playing, we hope you had an incredible time. I feel really sorry for this host, that he has to be the face.
In September for the next instalment of the UK's biggest gaming festival.
And he didn't know it. He's all over the Twitter. We're going to end like that, are we? I don't know. Is there a way out? Guys, can we stay positive? I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm still going to stay positive. But when I have to write stuff like this, it's just damn hard. And then now I've got to write about, people allegedly not paying their players and stuff. When's it going to end? I'm just bored and sick of it, to be honest. Odie says, but I got you £50 there once we get it. Yes, and Odie, I had confirmation, by the way. I can't remember if I text you. Jem says you can always call me for some positivity. Yeah, let's get a call in the diary, mate. I'm happy to do a catch up. So yeah, story is on Tuesday I'm getting new internet fitted. I'm with Sky at the moment. Can I do a speed test? I don't have very fast internet here where I am. What have I got here? 68 megabits per second. So I'm moving to Truly because Sky wanted to just completely do one over on me and charge me. They were going to increase me paying like 20 or 25 quid a month up to like 50 or 60 quid a month for hardly an increase on this. But so I've moved to Truly. I'm moving to Truly on Tuesday and they're promising up to 900 megabits per second. And Odie has, I'm really glad, Odie, you've said that Truly are good because now I feel like they're reliable. I can trust them. Hopefully they're going to be good. And I'm going to be able to download games on Steam like nothing if I'm getting near 900. You're getting near 900, aren't you, Odie? And because of this, Odie's referred me. So we're going to get 50 quid each. Hey, that's a meal out, isn't it? I can take my wife out. To not a super expensive restaurant, but I can go out for a meal with that. Caster Gems, you're spot on. I think we have a few more years of this, Gems said. And before I go, I'm just going to bring this up here. This is an article I did 2 months ago today for gamesindustry.biz. I'm lucky I've got some long industry friends at gamesindustry.biz, former colleagues of mine. I used to work on magazines together, who are now like senior editors and managers at gamesindustry.biz. And they said to me, Dom, we don't do a lot on esports. Can you do an article on the current state of esports from a business perspective? And they were really happy with this article I did. And I spoke to several like investor types, because that's their audience, right? It's all businessy stuff. And my headline was significantly more, quote unquote, market consolidation expected in esports. Insiders say the competitive gaming market is not out of the woods yet, as teams and other organisations brace for further change in the sector. This is going to go on for quite a while, isn't it? We're going to get mergers, acquisitions, closures, liquidations, administrations, layoffs. It's going to happen for quite a while yet. Sadly, I agree with you. I think it's going to be another 2-3 years at least, and at the same time we've got Saudi pumping this money in, haven't we? What a weird world we're in at the moment in esports. Let's see how the esports World Cup does. Odie, I know Odie in the chat is quite positive about Saudi, has been out there, and I see a disconnect with Saudi. I see a disconnect between those senior managers at orgs and TOs who are happy this money's coming in and they're getting a lifeline, and a disconnect between them and the community who are on Twitter, who watch the matches, who play every day or every other day, are fanatics and are passionate about esports but aren't working in esports at a management level, and they're less sort of on board with Saudi Arabia and all of that Middle Eastern money coming into esports. I see that disconnect, and I wonder how long, if that's going to be a divide, if the community is going to warm to Saudi. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Yeah, wow, that's great. Odie's got 924. What does that mean, 924 divided by 318? Is that up and down? Jem says, I could talk many an hour or two on this. Not sure how much Saudi is pumping. Smile. ESL just cut talent pay by 15-20%. Yeah, I saw actually, shout out to Richard Lewis, the good old Richard Lewis, because I read this on his Substack the other day about, where is it here? Is this it here? Yeah. EFG requested Dota 2 broadcast talent take pay cuts while working their circuit. Despite announcing huge prize pools for their tournaments, freelance broadcast talent was strong-armed into taking a pay cut in the region of 15%. So, Saudi have money, but maybe they're still going to be lean with ESL. Who knows? I mean, they're putting a lot of money into the prize pool at the World Cup, aren't they? Yeah, but don't tell anyone. Yeah, winky face. Yeah. Unless you hadn't seen this article here. Is this the one you're talking about, Gems? So yeah, that's it from me. This stream's been longer than I envisaged. I've got, like I say, I've got a lot of I don't know why I didn't share this. I've got a lot of DMs and emails to get through. A lot of stuff. This shout out to Reese, our CS writer, because he's written many thousands of words for the history of UK Counter-Strike article. It's how long. I mean, I thought I wrote a lot for my history of UK League of Legends article. I did about 6,000 words on that. I think Reese has written about 10,000 for CS. And I know people are going to moan. I know already people are going to moan. Why did you not mention this, Dom, in the history of UK Counter-Strike? There's too much history of UK and history of Counter-Strike. The article is never going to mention everyone. Okay, I'm just putting that out there now. I'm preempting any moaning we get our way. Caster Gem says there's precedent with Saudis of promising these big events and then it never materialising. Happened with things like strongman events and stuff. Right. Gems London says, I didn't know Richard did it. Oh, no worries. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, you can trust Richard to do stuff, right, on the things that are being spoken about behind the scenes. Like, very, very good. And I still need to...
Oh, my God. What have you done?
Odie.
You naughty person.
Thank you for subscribing, mate. I appreciate it. We've hit our sub goal, I think, tonight. I think that's going to take us up to 15. So thanks very much for that. I appreciate that a lot. You've subscribed for 5 months. That's very, very much appreciated, Odie. What was I going to say? I still need to update my sub sound. When Richard Lewis was talking about when you've been saccoed, I reacted to it and I forgot to post the video. I need to go back and do that at some point. I've had too much on. So, yeah, that's it from me, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend.
What have you done? You naughty person.
Oh, it says Odie subscribed twice there. I don't know how that happened. That was strange. Does anyone else have any questions for me? We've still got 13 viewers, which is pretty amazing.
Done?
Oh,
you naughty person.
Wow, there's 15. I really appreciate that. How do I pronounce your name? Is it University of something? Is it Ulwash? Or is it UHLWXSH? How should I say it? Thank you very much for the subs, guys. I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I work damn hard. I do my best with what little time I have. If you feel there's important stories I should cover, just message me. But I have you don't want to look at my to-do list. My to-do list is horrendous. It gives me anxiety looking at it. It's just horrible. I need to push some stories off the to-do list at some point. Some stories that aren't as big because I've got too much on. Oh, Uni Halo League Wash. Ah, yes. Keep me posted with how it goes. Do you know, I'm going to make a note of that because I have... no, it's in my other notepad. Before I go, where's my other notepad here? There it is. My old notepad. I have a list of people. I've seen here. Dr. Happiness is Charlie Smith. Dr. Happiness. I should have referred to you as Charlie if you're still in the chat. I have a list of gamer tags and then real names next to them, so I don't forget. Yeah, because Gems LDN is Mark, isn't it? Caster Gems is uh yes, and I've written that down here. Caster Gems should be in here somewhere as well. Trim, I think his name is Trim. Too many. There's too many people. There's too many people with too many names. But I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note of UHL, so I know it's Uni Halo League next time. There we go. Jem says, "Just think of my face, and the anxiety will wash away." True, yeah. You'd got a good face, Gems. Yes, I got you right. Trim. It is Trim. It is Trim. Do you know what confused me for a long time, Trim? It's that we've got another caster called Trid. Right, old school. I say old school. Mid to old school. League caster and then Overwatch caster. So Trim and Trid, I sometimes get confused. Thank you for bumping me up to 15 subs. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. I'm going to try and keep these streams weekly. I'm not here 2 weekends time, so I will miss that one. I'm on a friend's stag do. Don't even know where that is. They've sort of kept it secret from us. We don't know where we're going. But I know Trid. He was at Null at the same time. Yes. Imagine calling Trid old school. Well, he's old school for me, right? Because I got into writing about esports 9, 10 years ago, and Trid was one of the casters at the time. So he's old school for me, but not your level of old school, Mark. Right, have a good one, everyone. I'll let you go, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week.